All right, so we just discussed a little bit about illustrations and illustration art using Illustrator. And I just want to talk a little bit about how you're going to set up your artboard. Because these are going to be small images, again, they're going to be very small, nice images. We are going to start off with a 4x6. You decide which one goes where. So if you want a wider picture, you're going to put 6 inches on the width. If you want a taller picture, you're going to put 6 inches on the height. So there's my 6, there's my 4, and then I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, so this would give me a taller image, all right? So we talked a little bit about some of the images that you might decide to look at. I'm just going to pick out one for an example. So this one was one that came up, and let's say this was the start of my inspiration. What I can do is I can actually come in here and I can copy that image. I could save it, but really I'm just going to go ahead and copy it. And then I'm going to go ahead and Control V paste or just edit paste. You're going to find that image is really big. It goes beyond the borders. You can see that's the border of my image. So if I were to print this and trace it just like that, I would only get this little piece that was coming through. So you do want to watch out for that. So again, I'm going to hold that Shift key and I'm going to resize it. I hold the Shift key so that I don't end up with some of the ornaments looking like that where they look too skinny. Control Z, I just did. It undid my last action. It's one of your best friends. Okay, I'm going to Control plus to zoom in. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sit this up to the top. And then I'm going to leave it a little bit of extra space because I'm going to probably copy more of these hollies and berries. I might give more ornaments in there. But this is the place that you can get started. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and decide on, again, I don't want to copy this in its entirety. I do want to make sure I use it as a guide, but I do want it to be my own work. So again, I might say I'm going to use it to create this, but I don't like this being round. I want it to be a square, for example, or I want to put a hole in the middle of it so it looks like it's actually hanging. So those are all things that you're going to do, and you're going to decide which tools are going to be the most helpful. For example, on the actual ball part of the Christmas ornament, I'm going to want to go ahead and use the ellipse tool. Don't trace it. Why trace it when you can save so much time and get a perfect product? So what I do is I go ahead and I visually align this, and I visually align this edge. So I kind of go right across from the two of them, right there. I'm going to hold the Shift key. Shift key will give me a perfect circle. When I start clicking, you're going to see that I just, look at that. I couldn't have gotten it any more perfect if I would have tried. Okay? So it's pretty perfect. So I can go ahead and fill that with whatever color. I mean, if I need to, I can use the eyedropper, but let's say I do want to use my own color scheme. I'm going to do kind of like maybe pinks and lime greens. Maybe that's the sort of angle I want to take it. Beautiful. Do it. And then don't forget, you also can add some shadowing. You can add some of those things in using that mesh tool. We can go ahead in with that mesh tool and I can go ahead and start adding. Oh, let me get out of that. I can start adding some mesh pieces in there. I know I'm going to want to put a highlight right there. And I'll probably put like something else right there. Again, I'm going to select it. I'm going to go ahead and give sort of a brighter value in there. I can then control that. I can come in and select that handle, and I can manipulate and move things around. I can come in here and start to add, maybe I'll start to add my shadow in there. I'm going to select it again. Oh. Select that anchor point. I'm going to go right to this pink. I double clicked out here. I'm going to go ahead to one of my shadow parts, and I can go ahead and add that shadow in. Now, if I know I want a shadow in multiple places or a highlight on multiple places, I can click on that anchor and I can hold the Shift key and I can shift and I can shift, and I've got this whole section over here right now. I've got all of those points. Again, double click. I selected back to that shadowy color. You can see that it actually filled in that little section. I'm going to click off of that just so you can see how it's really it's really coming through beautifully so far. So again, I want you to make sure that you are selecting images that are appropriate for the time frame that we have, not copying things, but using something for inspiration. You know, this cute little fireplace with stockings. Maybe you're doing this with your family and you have your own stockings that you would like to put on the fireplace and put their names on it. You have so many options of things to gather your inspiration from as you are working and creating these beautiful outlines, and creating some really beautiful card fronts to practice your beginning illustrations. So that is really what we're looking for right now. Again, a reminder, you're going to create a 4x6 document, whether it be 4 inches wide, 6 inches in height for a tall or a portrait, or 6 inches by 4 inches in height, and that would be a wide or a landscape format. So we're doing some small things right now. Again, use your time wisely. In order to finish this on time, you will have to work really hard each class period to get that done. Make sure you're efficient because this is a very fast-moving project. Research something that you really will like the look of, that you would like to share with others, and something that you'll enjoy doing. And that's really what we're looking for.